bombing along, broad reaching in these northeasterlies. But it's still a question as to whether or not we're going to make it in through the Round Shoal Channel before nightfall. So I'm about to put her through a jibe to start heading to the entrance of the channel. Which is a bit of an involved process when you have running backstays. And it's not looking like I'm going to make it into the Round Shoal Channel before nightfall. Now you can't see anything other than the stern light on my air paddle. But we're in the Round Shoal Channel. And I don't know if you can hear that roar. Those are tide rips, and then just to windward of us are the shoals. And so the seas have gotten nice and flat now. We can hear that pounding, wild tide rips and pounding surf. And I'll tell you, it was just scaring the bejesus out of me. And all I can think of is if this wind dies, I'm in trouble. Because I could get dragged up on those shoals and into pounding surf. And got everything up, code 0 set. So we're not out of the woods yet, but at least we got breeze, and at least we got out of that horrible wave action. So it's about 11:30 on Thursday, 29th of September. And we're working our way toward the main channel here of Nantucket Sound. So this is Great Point, Nantucket. So after the thrills and chills of coming in through that Round Shoal Channel, and it was right around the Great Round Shoal that those vicious tide rips, yeah, those were, as I say, those just scared the devil out of me. But it's still about 30 miles to Tarpaulin Cove, so it's going to be an all-nighter. I didn't get much sleep last night either. And I can't stay too long in Tarpaulin Cove because the wind's going to come in strong from the northeast on Saturday. So I'm going to have to get out of there because we got the remnants of Ian. So just go to Tarpaulin, drop my anchor down, catch up on some sleep, and get going again. Oh, good morning. It is Friday the 30th of September, and I made it into Tarpaulin Cove. Was anchored down at about 5:30 this morning. After just quite the night here of coming in through Round Shoal into the main channel in Nantucket Sound. The winds were originally forecast just to go light this afternoon, but it looks like they're going to persist out of the northeast. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is once the tide changes in my favor, which is not going to happen until 3 in the afternoon, but maybe take off around 1 or 2, and then sail around to Hadley's Harbor this afternoon. And today's pretty much blown out anyway. What sleep I got, I just got this morning. I got the anchor down and slept for a couple of hours. So at least I'm not going on 0 sleep. The other reason to go into Hadley's is not only is it well sheltered for these northeasterlies today, but this weekend, Sunday, Monday, we got the remnants of Ian coming through. And it looks like we're going to get winds in the mid-20s, kind of around 25 knots, gusting mid-30s. And that's also going to be out of the northeast. So I definitely don't want to be here in Tarpaulin Cove for that. It's much too exposed. Well, I think I have a lot of work hauling my anchor up. Yeah, she's still engineless, the old Shenandoah. But at least they have a chorus, you know. You got backing vocalists while you're Sweating away. Now let's see if they know how to get her off on the right tack. I assume they do. Because if she falls away on starboard, I'm skeptical they're going to be able to get up enough speed and get around on the other tack before they come piling into me. There you go. I'm going to pull the stays, back it, make sure she gets off on the right tack. There she goes. She looks like she's falling away. Slow motion. God, what a beauty, though. What a beauty. Look at her. Come on, baby. Oh, she's just lovely. Meanwhile, back aboard Ruth Avery, I've just come through Quick's Hole, and now I have to beat my way actually back to the entrance to Woods Hole, which is where Hadley's Harbor is, as I still don't have the stones to try to sail through Woods Hole. So once again, the question is, will we make it into Hadley's Harbor before dark? Will we make it into the anchorage before dark? Time on distance is saying, once again, it's going to be close. We got about 2 hours of daylight left. About 5 miles, 6 miles, 5 or 6 miles to go. But it's dead upwind. Well, not quite dead upwind. We got an angle, so that's just about 2 hours. Well, I didn't make it in before nightfall and decided to anchor outside of Bull Island for the night, as the winds are not supposed to pick up until today, which means that I got to get going into the inner harbor pretty soon because it's going to be rather exposed out here. Even though I've been in and out of Hadley several times, I didn't want to attempt this at night. Because one, that entrance is very narrow. And two, I didn't know how many boats would be inside. And I didn't want to negotiate that in darkness. Well, there's an empty mooring brought off the starboard bow, so I'm going to go for that one. As always, the tricky part is knowing when to helm down and round up. And decisions. Helm-a-lee. I'm going for it. She's coming around slowly. She's still got some way on her. There's the mooring. It looks like she's going to drift right up to it. All you need is one little puff of wind to come the wrong way, and it can completely foil your approach here. So no side bets are settled until you actually pick the thing up. She's still moving. Give that helm one last flick. Alright, I'm going for it. And bullseye.
Hey, that's why I make the big bucks.
Good thing I did not delay coming into the inner harbor. This was definitely not the morning to sleep in. And not only is it raining, but these winds are really starting to moan. Well, it's Sunday, October 2nd, and I don't know if you can see it right by the entrance there. Those snarling whitecaps coming in. It's very well sheltered here in Hadley's, but just listen, you can hear that wind roaring in the trees. And Buzzards Bay has gale conditions. Winds, I think the last reading was about 28, 29 knots, gusting upper 30s. Well, I think it's Monday the 3rd of October. You know you're a cruising sailor when you can't remember what day it is. And just launched Baby Ruth here, and I'm sitting in Hadley Harbor, and it's still howling from this is the leftover low from Hurricane Ian, and the low is just sitting offshore. It's basically parked. So it really screamed yesterday. Not so much today, but it's still way too windy to go anywhere. So I decided to take a stroll around the neighborhood to help with my cabin fever. And it seems to be working. I'm already looking forward to getting back to the boat. Careful, don't dash ourselves on the rocks. Yarly, yarly. Slowly go around. Well, that was fun. Four days later, and the fair weather returns, I sail across Buzzards Bay to Peyton Aram to pay a visit to my friend Chris. On the way to the grocery store, we passed through downtown New Bedford. Oh, there we are, downtown New Bedford. Gazillion fishing boats. Where there's the New Bedford fishing fleet. And you can see that vessel painted bright red. That's one of the famous lightships of yesterday. Perhaps the most famous one was the one that marked the end of Nantucket Shoals. And those lightships were manned, and the lights burned oil, so they had to be taken down and refueled and cleaned daily. For smaller vessels such as myself, westbound ships can use two deep-water channels going into Nantucket Sound, the Pollock Rip Channel and the Great Round Shoal Channel, which is what I went through. But larger ships had to pass southeast of Nantucket, and the light ships served the all-important purpose, especially in the days before GPS, of marking the safe water past those shoals, which are littered with wrecks, and is one of the most dangerous areas of coastal United States.